Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category in the Fanduel app to help you win money. All right, we have a cheat sheet here. After all mock lineups, there will be a cheat sheet for players per position. Be sure to read the description next to the icon. These will help you because we are only going through analysis on lineups. Only players that will receive an icon will be included. Some players don't play enough or have enough impact for their team if not included. Some players not included probably have slipped in production. Obvious picks will not be shown with icons. These are the symbols you're going to see towards the end of the presentation. These symbols will do a lot of explaining for you. Basically, it's going to be giving you a deeper analysis on players that you may or may not know about. So very important, take a picture of this slide or this page so it'll be easy for you to follow along, or you can just rewind the video. Mock lineup number 1. If you're new to the channel, feel free to use these mock lineups as a base. Use 90% of the lineup and substitute players where you see fit. We think the only way this lineup fails is if someone not on here goes bonkers and someone on here doesn't live up to their usual play. Our point guard selection of Holiday and Lillard should provide a ton of points, as Holiday is well rounded and Lillard has to do pretty much everything for Portland to remain close. Plus, Chicago's defense isn't great. Wiggins and Smart are those glue players. Both aren't first options, but they have favorable matchups tomorrow. Keldon Johnson is coming off good games, and we believe he will continue that versus Memphis' second to last defense versus small forwards. Robinson will be playing Sacramento on a back-to-back and gave up 124 points in regulations to Miami. He should have plenty opportunities to get his FDP up. Crowder has filled in nicely without Booker. Zion Williamson has been on a tear, and we finally want to put him in and depend on that mean streak. Mason Plumlee is solid, extremely solid. He cleans up the glass, good finisher around the basket, and finds a couple blocks. Hitter per position lineup. Hitters in each position and point guards. Point guard actually may have two. Murray has been balling, and it would be a great matchup versus Morant. Wall will be facing a New Orleans team that just had a great game from their point guard, but they still managed to give the point guard great FDP. Buddy Hield has been really good lately. We are trusting him for the first time all season. Wayne Ellington, until he goes cold, is worth picking up. Jaylen Brown will find himself in a good game and a big game. They will need him to show up. Carmelo Anthony has filled up the stat sheet lately beyond his scoring. Chicago's defense will probably allow similar results. Bam facing a Sacramento team that would much rather outscore opponents and his Miami first options and stuffs the stats. Washington has a tough matchup, but Milwaukee has trouble defending the power forwards. Adams is good for boards and blocks. Any points he scores are definitely extra boost. It's definitely an extra boost. Late heavy lineup. Late game is Detroit versus Golden State. We provided Steph for Golden State and Wright for Detroit in the point guard position. Ellington and Wiseman make up the other players for this game. Levine should live up to that FDP average versus a below average Portland defense. Rudy Gay facing his old team, who comes in with the second worst defense versus small forwards. He just needs to do enough, and that's what he does for San Antonio. Bagley should not only score but provide rebounds and blocks in this game. Miami allows the most fantasy points to power forwards. Porzingis is looking to get back in rhythm versus Phoenix, and their defense versus power forwards being next to last, only trailing Miami. Early heavy lineup. We went right for the last game because he's been the best Detroit option and Steph was too costly. We could have gone Oubre, but Wright has been slightly more consistent. Two most expensive lineup. We got Luka and Giannis, who are the most expensive players in this lineup. This is a very good lineup. We're a bit nervous with Kemba, but we like him against Schroeder. We are hoping. Blake Griffin doesn't spontaneously sit, or unless Blake Griffin doesn't spontaneously sit, or there will have to be some shuffling. This is definitely a roster. You can swap players in and out, but if you're looking to build around these two expensive guys, good luck. Player per game lineup. We pick players out of every game. Our point guards were too easy. Dame has the best matchup, and Steph is the strongest player in this game, in this late game. We followed that up with a series of good value players mixed in with players with good matchups who have also been on a good stretch of games lately. All right, symbols. We like this matchup for Delon Wright. He's been playing extremely well for this salary. Golden State doesn't play the best defense, and the best thing about deciding to run with him, he doesn't have to score a ton of points to have a great impact on his FDP. Yep, and these are some great shooting guards. Please refer to the symbols. As you can see, Wayne Ellington has been on fire recently. We suggest getting him until he cools off. Right, and then we have some good small forwards that you probably don't really pay attention to. Keldon Johnson is coming off a really good game. Eric Gordon, you have to depend on his shooting a lot. If he's hitting threes, he's going to have decent FDP. If he's not hitting threes, he can potentially kill your lineup. All right, the star symbols simply mean we like the individual matchup. Milwaukee very well may likely kill Charlotte, but they are the bottom of the league as far as guarding power forwards, which is really shocking. I mean, you know, Milwaukee, they do have Giannis, but hey, we have PJ Washington in here because Milwaukee is just going by the stats. They struggle guarding power forwards. We don't know why, but hey, that's what the stats say. All right, you'll have plenty to choose from in power forwards if you're struggling to spend on costly players. Boston versus the LA Lakers should be good for players to generate good FDP. The Lakers are struggling as of late, and Boston is coming off along healthy. Also, look for the Detroit and Golden State matchup. Detroit has won 2 in a row against great opponents and are clicking. Golden State still doesn't really have an identity yet until Klay gets back. Tillman, and we know Klay's not coming back to next season. Tillman is included because he gets his minutes from Valanciunas being out. All right, these 4 have the best matchups. 2 people we don't trust, Harrell and Cousins. Since Wood is back, DeMarcus just isn't seeing the minutes. Out of his control, Harrell is just struggling. If he can't beat his matchup off the dribble with his face up, no good. Not even grabbing boards at a high clip. So definitely take that into consideration. This is the last slide for you guys. If you enjoyed this presentation, please like the video. Please share, comment if you have any questions or concerns. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. And thank you for choosing another episode of the Pickpocket DFS.